welcome back to the next cabin video. So in the last video you saw we got all the framing done, and I got the porch pretty much put on and framed in, and then I got the main truss that runs above my head from one side of the cabin to the other. I got that put up, and I also got this covered with a tarp because we're expecting rain for the next week or so. So hopefully the tarp holds up. If it gets windy, I'm going to be a little worried, but I'm going to start doing the roof rafters now, and there's a couple different ways to figure it. You want to first figure out the pitch of your roof. So originally I was going to go with a 6:12 ratio roof, and that's the standard, most common size you see on a lot of houses, but I didn't really care once I got looking at it. Basically it ended up being a 3-inch rise above the level of the walls. It was 3 feet rather to the top of the beam, and it just looked a little shallow for me. So I went with more like an 8-12 pitch, and basically I bumped it up to 4 feet high, where the peak of the roof from the top of the wall is 4 feet above it. And I really like the way it looks. It gives it a little bit more slope, gives it a little bit more of that cabin look. And I'm standing here inside right now with the tarp on. I can feel how it's going to look, and I love it. And we have the cathedral ceilings in here, and it's just going to look great. So I'm going to show you how I came up with the rafter design. If you go online, there's a bunch of different, you can do rafter calculators or roof calculators, and I actually downloaded an app. I'm not necessarily endorsing this app or anything, but it's called a Rafter Calculator, and it costs 99 cents. But it allows you to input all your dimensions, and then it will spit out in the lower part how long everything gets to be. It's a little weird. You could tell someone foreign wrote it, because when you put it in inches, instead of 1.5, it says 1 2/4. So you got to know your fractions, but it works. And it gives you, your angle of your cuts and all that. Here is one of my roof rafters that I'm using. So the cut on both ends is actually the same angle, and I've got it locked in on my saw. Okay, and then this is what's called the bird's mouth. So basically this end connects to the truss at the top, and with this end cut at the same angle, it makes it so it's flat along the sides, like most houses. And the bird's mouth allows this to sit on top of the walls and gives it a secure connection. And then I have these things called hurricane ties, which will also be putting on, and it's a metal bracket that's angled that connects from here to the wall, and it's meant as the name implies, hurricane tie, to prevent the roof from being able to be lifted off easily. But it will also just help secure the roof. And the roof is really, besides putting on your sheathing on your walls, the roof is really what ties it together. I can still walk over to the walls and push and shake on the cabin a little bit, but once all the roof rafters are in and the walls are sheathed, that's what really ties your house together and makes it nice and strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this one here. This is like my master template, basically. And I will just trace this onto the rest of the 2x4s, and then they should be the same all the way down the roof on both sides, and I already checked it, and the same thing fits. So now I just need to basically make a bunch of these, and then I'll be ready to start putting them on the roof. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I do this. So just take the template board, trace our lines. Well, the rain's getting ready to start, so I'm gonna have to stop for today. So I got the first rafter in place. Then inside, you can kind of see what it's going to look like. But that's the just the middle. I put rafter right in the middle. That's how I'm going to brace all of them right there. So you can see the bird's mouth fits nice and tight against there. Straightened everything out. And here's how those hurricane ties are installed. Another thing I've been doing today to try to take advantage of the rain, I was building a lot of the trusses in the garage at my house to spec. That way I can just take them to the site and they'll be ready to install. Should save a lot of time. All right, we're back out here in the morning. The sun's just coming up. It's cloudy though. Spent the last couple of days on a rain delay kinda, but we were able to get some materials shuttled up here even though it was raining. The paths were pretty muddy, but the four-wheeler was able to make it okay. And we got 14 sheets of OSB up here, which is for the roof. And so today I'm gonna get back working on the trusses for the roof, get the tarp off, and we should have a couple days without rain. So hopefully we can get the roof pretty much all framed in and get the plywood on, and we'll be done with the roof. Alright, so you saw we got all the trusses in place. We still have to secure them with the hurricane ties down at the bottom. Now we're putting on some of the mounting points for the soffit board. So what I'm doing now is coming up with a way to frame the front here. Decided I'm going to put that half moon window on the front up in the loft so the light will come in and shine through the cabin. So I cannot, obviously this is temporary anyway, but I can't leave it there, so I'm going to try to come up with a way to put some framing in here. Alright, so now we're going to put some siding on the front and the back before we do the overhangs. It'll just be easier to get the siding on first. Alright, so here's where we're at so far. Got the siding on the front. That way we can go ahead and cut some soffits here. Put on, you can see we've got our tiny little ladders ready for that. Then we'll put the ones on the side. Got our siding on the upper portion back here. So that's good. So same thing, we'll get the soffits and it'll all be trimmed out also. So it's starting to look like a shed. Alright, we're back out here first thing in the morning, and it's time to start getting the roof on. We went ahead and got all the soffit done real quick. I didn't get that on video, but it's cut and installed. Now we're going to start getting plywood on the roof. The roof is completed as far as the sheathing goes, so that is a nice feeling. We've got our gaps. You have to leave a gap for expansion and contraction. Now we're getting ready to put Tyvek on, so we're going to be wrapping the studs in Tyvek. And obviously we didn't put it up at the top. I'll go back and tuck some in there. I just needed to get that done and didn't have the Tyvek, so not a big deal. It's just an optional step anyway, just to help with as a little bit of a air barrier, and if any water does get behind the siding, it'll help keep it off the studs. Alright, Tyvek is installed. We are wrapping it up for today now. I'll give you a little tour. So you can already feel what it'll be like with real walls. Now, we're going to get a tarp pulled over the top until we can get the roof installed. I got to check into a few options as far as the roof goes, but I'll talk more about that in another video. But for now, while we're waiting for the roof with the tarp on, we'll go ahead and start installing more siding. But there she is. All right, so that's going to wrap up this episode of DIY Off-Grid Cabin. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. If you have a comment or question, go ahead and post it in the comment section below. Until next time, we'll see you later.